Man in critical condition after becoming the victim of a downtown Ottawa fire. Several tenants rescued as the apartment building was starting to be consumed by smoke and flames. Good afternoon. This is CTV News at 5. I'm Stefan Keys. A fire here in downtown Ottawa has left an elderly man with life-threatening injuries. First responders could be seen rescuing tenants from the burning apartment building on Gladstone last night. And today we are confirming that everyone other than the senior recovering in hospital can be in their homes for the holidays. CTV's Josh Morano joins us live with more. And Josh, it sounds like the blaze was really contained to that one unit where the fire victim lived. What more can you tell us?
Yes, Stefan. Crews responded to a call around 9:30 p.m. and the fire was under control shortly after 10, but the smoke from the blaze filled the entire floor. According to Ottawa Fire Service, when they arrived, crews were met with heavy smoke conditions and zero visibility on the 4th floor. Upon entering the apartment where the fire was located, firefighters found a resident unconscious on the floor. The 70-year-old man was assessed and treated for injuries in the lobby and transported to hospital with life-threatening conditions.
They carried him out down to the lobby where firefighters were waiting. They created a medical sector where firefighters assessed and treated the resident for burns and smoke inhalation.
He was stabilized on scene and during transport to the hospital where he was in life-threatening condition.
A man in his 80s was also taken to hospital with smoke inhalation. He was in stable condition. Placed to the 5th to 7th floors of the building to get the smoke out, and all residents on scene were able to return to their apartments and weren't displaced. Stefan.
All right, wishing that fire victim a speedy recovery. Thank you for this, Josh. Being home in time for the holidays can be risky business for Canadian travelers. Long distances are often challenged by inclement weather, but what can feel like a gamble still comes with a big payoff of being with loved ones on Christmas Day. CTV's Kimberly Johnson spoke with those taking planes, trains, and automobiles today and joins us live with more. Kimberly.
Stefan, thousands of travelers are both coming and going from the nation's capital today by both rail and air as one of the busiest travel days of the year gets underway. Airport officials alone say their planes are at full capacity or mostly full capacity, and more than 18,000 passengers will arrive and depart ahead of Christmas daily. It's also one of Via Rail's busiest days of the year, and trains are mostly running at full capacity as well, according to officials. At the bustling train station, visitors excited to be home for the holidays.
Yeah, I'm just heading home. I'm just done my studies for the term. Heading back to London.
Brantford, Ontario.
Off to Kitchener-Waterloo, here to see her family, but we've been together for around 8 years now, so they're my family too now, and I'm very excited to see them.
We have my cousin coming in, so we're picking him up from here. He's spending the holidays with us. Haven't seen him in a couple of years, and he's spending Christmas with us, which is very exciting.
If you are one of those leaving from the Ottawa airport over the next few days, officials encourage you to come prepared. That includes bringing your travel documents, especially your passport if you're traveling internationally. And a quick tip, they say if you're going to bring gifts through your carry-on, you should leave them unwrapped for security. You should also be aware of inclement weather, they say, and check your flight status before you leave, and you can do that online. Stefan?
CTV's Kimberly Johnson reporting live for us. Thank you, Kimberly. Let's take a live check on traffic right now. Things are fairly slow going or not at full speed because of the road conditions. They seem to be a little slick this hour. Moderate volume on all major routes, but we know that it has been fairly busy with people trying to make it home for the holidays or just doing some last-minute Christmas shopping. The busiest stretch of the Queensway typically starts westbound around the Nicholas exit, headed out towards Woodruff. But again, things are moving fairly well at this time. And we now know who will be traveling to Washington to be Canada's ambassador to the U.S. Mark Wiseman, a former investment banker and pension fund manager, will be getting the gig. Wiseman is also a longtime friend of Prime Minister Mark Carney. He will replace Kirsten Hillman, who announced earlier this month she would end her role. Carney's office says Wiseman will take on the post in mid-February. He'll be tasked with leading negotiations on the review of the CUSMA Free Trade Agreement with the U.S. and Mexico. In other news, Ontario Provincial Police say a man from Leeds County is being charged with sex-related offences, and it's being alleged that some of the victims were underage. Here are some of the charges being laid against 43-year-old Michael Natsipov. He has been charged with sexual assault on a person under 16, forcible confinement, luring a person under 18, and the list goes on and on. OPP say the investigation was launched when an alleged victim came forward just 11 days ago. Doctors are urging Canadians to get vaccinated for influenza as soon as possible, as this country is experiencing the highest flu positivity rate in 3 years.
More cases, more hospitalizations, more bad outcomes. It's probably going to shake out to be one of those. Kind of not surprising. We look at the Southern Hemisphere as an imperfect barometer as to what our flu season is going to look like. And Australia had one of their worst flu seasons on record as well.
Dr. Isaac Bogosh says the flu season will likely peak over the holidays in Ontario. The province saw a positivity rate of 33.8% for the week ending December 13th. Nationally, nearly 28% of tests came back positive for the same period. Widespread activity was reported in 11 regions in 5 provinces. New developments in the Canada Post labor dispute. A tentative agreement has been reached with the union. The agreement comes with union members promising not to strike before the ratification vote happens in the new year. CUPW, the union, is encouraging its members to vote in favor of this latest deal. It includes a 6.5% wage increase in the first year, followed by a 3% hike in the second year, and increases matching the annual inflation rate in years 3 through 5. If accepted, the new collective agreement would be in place until January 31st, 2029. Meanwhile, some good fortune is being delivered outside of a local grocery store today.
And today you got a $300 gift card to help with Christmas dinner.
What?
Yes.
Really? Oh my gosh.
Yes, times are hard.
Thank you very much.
And I'm just trying to spread some hope.
That is wonderful.
This local do-gooder joined the Millionaires Club after hitting the $70 million jackpot back in May of 2024. And with Christmas around the corner, this cancer survivor says she isn't taking anything for granted and wants to give back. So Patricia Warden stood outside a grocery store in Greeley handing out $20,000 in gift cards. Each one was worth more than $300.
Integrity, caring, self-respect, respect for others. These are all the things that matter the most now. And you can't put a price on that. $70 million is nothing compared to that.
The focus was on families and seniors. Warden says she hopes her example of generosity inspires other affluent residents to do the same.
You got to roll up your sleeves and you ask for simple things like a toque, a mitt, to keep people warm.
Coming up on CTV News at 5, Toes-T-Tootsies takes care of winter business by doing its part to keep people warm this season. We'll explain in a few short minutes, but first let's take our first look at the forecast. Right now we're sitting at -7 once you factor in that wind chill. -9 is what it feels like. Some light snowfall. We did see that on the traffic cameras, so be careful behind the wheel if you are headed out tonight. And as we take a look right around the region, we're seeing very similar conditions over in Gatineau, Cornwall, and along the Seaway, quite warmer at -2, but wind is still a factor. And as we take a look to the east of us, the Mont Tremblant, that's where you're headed for the next few days over the holidays. Looking good on the slopes, but bundle up, -10 there right now. Here's what you need to know. As of today, bus service will operate on a reduced weekday schedule, and O-Train Line 1 will also operate on a reduced weekday schedule with peak period service every 6 minutes. Train lines 2 and 4 will operate on a normal weekday schedule. All of these details are on our website. We'll be right back. The Bell Media building is lit up bigger and brighter this year thanks to our friends at Christmas Decor from Nutrilon. The weather outside might be frightful for some, and for those taking public transit, they say the pains of plunging temperatures and late buses can lead to frustration. OC Transpo has been lukewarm about reliability targets as they still aren't where they should be, and at times it has their customers feeling stuck and stranded in the cold. That brings us to today's radio question of the day. Should OC Transpo install heaters in its bus shelters?
If you're going to put heaters in bus shelters, you better make them coin operated, because as a taxpayer, I'm not paying for it. Let the users User pay.
Christy Cameron is here with more, and certainly that listener is not up to giving OC Transpo any more money.
Yeah, Wayne was straight to the point. He's not paying for it. And the reality is, to put a heater at every bus station or bus stop would be unrealistic. And I know that because OC Transpo has been struggling financially. I mean, like, look at our city budget, all of the things that we have to pay for. We are stretched. We've got transit, we've got the police budget, we have, you know, water, sewer. So I get it, and I think the reality is maybe if you wanted to pepper a few of these heaters throughout the city, it might satisfy the really frigid riders. But what's the root of the problem here, Steph? It's not putting up these digital display boards to tell people when the late buses are coming or putting up these heaters to keep them warm. It's making sure that they're not waiting north of 45 minutes.
Right.
Like, just stop the late buses to begin with.
It's about being on time.
And then you don't have to worry about heaters.
Right.
Am I right?
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah.
You know, someone that grew up on OC Transit, I say grew up on OC Transit because I took public transit my entire life. That was kind of the worst thing about the winter season. Obviously, you know that there are going to be delays with snowstorms. Everyone gets stuck in traffic. But when there is no rhyme or reason, or it's a good weather day in winter, just standing there waiting and not knowing why your bus is late, it's really a pain.
It is. And how many times have I come on this very show and I've called Tunney's Pasture the Bermuda Triangle of OC Transpo? Here she goes again. It is, though, right? Because you're there, and even these digital display boards, I don't know what it is. It feels like it's always a mystery. They're never actually accurate, in my personal experience. So, you know, I think this is a good conversation to have. We're talking about people staying warm. We're keeping people warm. But what we're really talking about is public trust and reliability. And if you can't fix that issue, that the buses aren't coming on time, then we've got a major problem. There's no way you can convince people to leave their car behind, leave it in the driveway, or to not order that Uber if they can't trust that the bus will show up.
That's right. Consumer confidence, it matters. Thank you, Christy.
Thank you.
You can join the conversation and leave a comment through the Talkback feature on the iHeartRadio app. You can listen live to Christy Cameron on News Talk 580 CFRA weekdays from 2 to 6. And now watch Christy's segments anytime on YouTube. Subscribe to the News Talk 580 CFRA page. The 4th annual Toes-T-Tootsies campaign wrapped up with a new goal-shattering record of 4,000 warm essentials. Craig McCormick started the Toes-T-Tootsies campaign, inviting people to drop off new socks, toques, mitts, and gloves at various locations in Eastern Ontario since early November, partnering with House of Lazarus, where they will be distributed to those in need. Families or individuals who have lost their jobs and those that are homeless.
You got to roll up your sleeves and you ask for simple things like a toque, a mitt, to keep people warm. It's just so heartwarming.
It means a lot. We deal with a lot of homeless right now. We deal with a lot of clientele, and it's going to be tremendous to be able to help them stay warm.
About 10,000 items have been collected since this initiative first started.
Broken stick on the ice. Jensen lays it off. Batherson scores! Drake Batherson posting in, and the Sens strike early.
Coming up on CTV News at 5, gifting wins. The Ottawa Senators on a roll these last few games, and the team is getting set to play again tomorrow night. Here's what you need to know. The National Arts Centre has been fairly festive, and if you're in the Christmas mood, you may want to think about being there tomorrow night. The Glenn Miller Orchestra will be hitting the Southern Hall stage to play Christmas favorites at 8 p.m. Here's another live check on traffic. We're starting to see some slowdowns around the core, headed westbound around Nicholas and Vanier. It's a steady stream, but it is flowing. You're watching CTV News at 5. We'll be right back. Welcome back to CTV News at 5. Time now for another check on the weather. Let's take a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. It is -7 out there right now. Wind chill is a factor. And as we take a closer look at that forecast and what you can expect, our satellite radar picture shows quite a bit of cloud coverage throughout today. We know those clouds have brought flurries on and off throughout the day. So we have been seeing some precipitation, and there's road conditions are a little slick at the moment. In Ottawa overnight, -8 is the low, cloudy conditions continuing tomorrow morning, bringing snowfall. -6 is what we're expecting. Some slight winds coming in from the east, gusting around 15 kilometers per hour. Now, if you live in the valley, there's a chance of flurries, but also a risk of freezing drizzle, meaning the road conditions in your neck of the woods will be worse than what we're seeing here in downtown Ottawa. -10 overnight for the low. Some winds coming in from the east around 10 kilometers per hour. Snowfall expected tomorrow morning, so mixed precipitation in your part of the region, and -3 for the daytime high. Along the Seaway, a little similar when it comes to the precipitation we are expecting, however, much warmer than Ottawa and the Valley. -2 overnight, 2 degrees above the freezing mark for the high tomorrow, but tomorrow you will be seeing some mixed precipitation. Let's take a quick look at our 5-day forecast now. Again, snowfall on Tuesday, some mixed precipitation along the Seaway, some freezing drizzle expected in the valley as well overnight. Wednesday, a mix of sun and cloud, a high of -4 overnight, -10. Thursday, Friday, cloudy skies, warmer on Thursday at -3 than Friday, which will see a high of -11. But those overnight lows are twin days or twin nights, -13 for the overnight. Consecutive days, good for getting the canal ready. As we know, Saturday, a 40% chance of flurries and a daytime high of -7. Now for a look at the stories you're checking out right now on ctvnewsottawa.ca. As we head over to the big screen, we're going to draw your attention to some of the holiday articles that you're going to want to pay attention to. We already have open or available, it's open and closed in Ottawa over Christmas and New Year's, but also things to do over the Christmas and holiday season, and that list is extensive. It's broken down from the Canada Strong Pass to sports games, Senators Charge, 67s, the Black Bears, and what you can see at the Christmas market, the National Arts Centre, so performances as well. Many events available in the capital region for the holiday season. You don't need to be bored. Coming up on CTV News at 5.
Do not feel pressured and spend what you have, not what you don't have.
We'll be talking about shopping for the holidays. Canadians say they budgeted to buy less, but could it be that they're still spending more? Here's what you need to know. Luminaire is a light show that happens nightly in the Byron Market. Just look for the giant tree at the George Street Plaza. There's a DJ on deck as the lasers get going. Showtimes are 5:30 and 7:30 p.m. Today's cheapest gas price can be found at the Shell station on Terry Fox Drive, 104.9 cents for a liter of regular. And another live check on traffic right now. We're starting to see more slowdowns this hour than what we were seeing before. It could be that the road conditions are getting worse. It is a little slick out there, so be careful behind the wheel. We'll be right back.
Get the latest live local breaking news. Sign up now for our morning and evening CTV News Ottawa newsletter. The best local content from CTV News, Your Morning Ottawa, and News Talk 580 CFRA. Get it all in one place. Sign up now at ctvnewsottawa.ca. The CTV News Ottawa newsletter is brought to you in part by CAA Business.
Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. Current temperature -7. Factor in that wind chill, feels like -9. Time now for a look ahead to CTV News at 6. Here's Patricia Bull.
Thanks, Steph. Here's what we're working on for 6 o'clock. A Centretown fire sends one man to hospital.
They carried him out down to the lobby where firefighters were waiting. They created a medical sector where firefighters assessed and treated the resident for burns.
Neighbors say the fire was quickly contained, but not before a number of people were displaced from their homes.
He's spending the holidays with us. Haven't seen him in a couple of years, and he's spending Christmas with us, which is very exciting.
It is busy at the airport and on the roads, and it will be right through until Christmas, although today and tomorrow often considered the busiest travel days of the year.
Women in the endometriosis community were suffering in silence.
A very rare and complex surgery performed at the Ottawa Hospital. It is helping a woman living with the pain of endometriosis. All of that and more is coming up tonight on CTV News at 6. That's right after the early edition of CTV National News with Marcia McMillan at 5:30. Steph.
Thank you, Patricia. We'll be watching. Now the final 5 other local stories we're following. Changes to how new teachers are certified in Ontario will likely be announced next year. In a year-end interview with the Canadian Press, Education Minister Paul Calandra says he is looking at shortening the length of Teachers College. Calandra says he will share the final decision in the new year and that more practical time will be an element of it. Ontario has among the shortest practicum periods for teachers in Canada at 80 days.
Do not feel pressure and spend what you have, not what you don't have.
Amid the rush to finish up holiday shopping, a new report finds many Canadians are choosing to spend less this year. Families are looking for savings just about everywhere. A new survey from TD Bank found more than a third of Canadians are cutting back on holiday spending, up from last year. But even as holiday budgets decrease, 46% of people are actually spending more money on Canadian products, according to Business Development Canada. And according to the Retail Council of Canada, there has been an alarming rise in the circulation of fake $20, $50, and $100 bills. The council says in the past month alone, its members have reported more fake bills than in the entire previous year. They say counterfeits have become so good, they're almost impossible to detect, especially during the holidays when retailers are busy and in a rush. They believe they are being printed by organized crime and are calling on the government and the police services to do more to stop it. A vital bus route returns for families in need, helping to bring many to a local food bank as more and more people struggle to make ends meet. Earlier this year, weekend service was eliminated on Route 189 through OC Transpo's New Ways to Bus network, cutting off direct transit access to the food bank, which only operates on Saturdays and Sundays. In addition to restoring access to the food bank, weekend service has also been improved along Chesterton Drive.
Broken stick on the ice. Jensen lays it off. Batherson scores! Drake Batherson posting in, and the Sens strike early, just 90 seconds.
Look at that. What a night for the Sens. The Sens have been busy gifting fans with wins on the ice. They beat the Boston Bruins last night 6-2. Today's a break for the team as they get ready to hit the ice again tomorrow. The game is against the Buffalo Sabres tomorrow at the Canadian Tire Centre. Puck drop is 7 p.m. Go Sens, go. And that is CTV News at 5. I'm Stefan Keys. Be sure to join Patricia Bull for CTV News at 6. The early edition of CTV National News starts right now. Thanks for watching, everyone. Be safe.